Welcome to our middle school here at University School, because at our school, 5th grade starts the middle school experience. My name is Paul Salerno, and I am the counselor here at University School for lower school and also work with middle school boys. When I do my developmental profiles, I always like to say there are so many factors involved in looking at child development. First of all, and we kind of talked already this morning about the age of children and even their birth date, and because even 6 months can make a world of difference. Gender clearly is an issue, boy to girl, placement in the family, and some parents have had the experience before. This may not be their oldest, but their middle child or the youngest child. Family experiences shape and mold this as well. And then that wonderful, unique temperament and personality of your child factors in a great deal here. Parents are always asking me for suggested books, and I'm very cautious. I like to say, you know, let's have a conversation first. But there's two I really want to suggest today. For 5th graders, really, the 9, 10, and 11-year-old, the classic, but it's been updated and expanded, Parenting with Love and Logic is a very practical approach, and I really like what they have to say about using empathy and choice making, and it's really about empowering kids and helping them. They also have a wonderful website, www.loveandlogic.com, and I get a weekly little news note with some practical strategies, so I'd encourage that. Over the years, we've talked about the last several, in particular, girl books. And today I have, it's a boy book, but it really, I think, can also fit daughters depending on the issue. I read it this summer, and it's so practical. It's called That Crumpled Paper Was Due Last Week, Helping Disorganized and Distracted Boys Succeed in School and Life. It's a great resource because it has very specific practical suggestions in terms of homework routines, organizing binders, studying for tests, really organizing your life, but really kind of planning, helping your child plan and empower themselves, not only at school and life. So I really suggest that you take a look at this. Even if you have daughters, I think you'll find it helpful. At the end of the program today, I'm going to give a handout which will talk about 9, 10, and 11-year-olds. And for those of you parents that can't be here, I will have it available at our school office for the next several weeks, so you can pick that up from E.E. Linsberry. So I want to just kind of generally talk, and then after the video of 15 minutes, we're going to take questions and answers here today. Well, 5th graders, very interesting experience. For those of you who have 9-year-olds, I have to say that what's most interesting about 9, it is one of those years in life in which all of the other factors, you know, placement in the family, gender, age, family experiences, are not as significant as the child's own unique temperament and personality. So at 9, there are extremes. Some kids are great eaters, other kids are not. Some kids are very active, other kids are not. Some kids are great sleepers, other kids are not. 9 is a very reflective year. 9s often do a lot of brooding. They do a lot of thinking. They have strong words and intense reactions they can have. If they're more mature and moving more to 10, you'll find that 10 is referred to as one of the golden ages, like 5. 10 is just awesome. Being 10 is a romantic time in life. I love my family. I like who I am. School is kind of exciting. New friends, new experiences. 10 is active. 10 wants to be busy. And it's great that in our middle school setting, 10s get up every 45 minutes to move around. They really need to do that. They're competitive, but 10s are also cooperative. The boys and girls actually work fairly well together at 10. And it's a great age for belonging. So clubs and organizations and all of the activities we have in the middle school are an important part of it. They like rules. They like logic. They're really open to learning about scientific principles and government structures and all sorts of things. They enjoy working hard and taking pride in the school. and who they are. They're very good at memorizing, and actually that for them is how they think they really learn. Health-wise, pretty good. This is at 10. So as you're kind of coasting along with 10, as they enjoy their family, they take pride in their family, there's a little glitch in relationships. 10-year-olds typically don't get along very well with 6, 7, 8, or 9-year-olds. They're better with 5 and younger. And they're really 11-year-olds, well, I'm going to talk to you about 11-year-olds. 11-year-olds don't get along pretty much with anybody in their sibling relationships. And then 12 and up. So 10 really has such enthusiasm and energy. And it's a real settling down in their about life, but active, outdoor movement. They really need that. They can't get enough of life at 10. But I have to say, they begin more and more to notice all of the reactions of other people. And so, for girls in particular, the opinions of other girls and how they're looking at them becomes even more significant. 10 needs rest periods. 10 needs snacks. They tend to be, they have an appetite for learning, an appetite for knowing people, an appetite for eating, and so they really need snacks. The challenge with 10 is really helping them find appropriate scheduling for all the wonderful things they want to do in their lives. And parents of 10 often find that they're like taxi drivers and that they're like schedule coordinators because there's so much 10 wants to embrace in their life. And 10 can be kind of scatterbrained because, not intentionally, but because there's so much going on in their thinking, so much going on in the activity around them that they may be forgetful. Boys especially might have some challenges with this. Physically, their muscles are really coordinating and running, and it's amazing the things that they say. They take pride in the family. They enjoy hanging out with you. Just when you got it down pat, comes along. And just like at 5, when they turn to 5 and a half, you wonder what has happened. Something's going on. And then there's 11. I have to tell you about 11. For most parents, I hear, my child has become quite argumentative. They are becoming a bit oppositional. In the mind of an 11-year-old, they describe to me, Mr. Salerno, I have become very persuasive. 11-year-olds learn this language. Now, because in our middle school we have a few 9s, but mostly 10s into 11, the milieu of the class can take on some of these characteristics. So it's not just that you wait till that 11-year-old birthday. So much is happening to 11. For 11-year-old girls in particular, puberty has really been kicking in, and that brings with it lots of changes. Even for boys, the change is really kind of like bone growth. And so there's that kind of physical change that's happening. 11-year-olds love to debate. They're moody. 11 is one of the most self-absorbed, egocentric times. And it can be so frustrating, so agonizing for parents. So my comments to you are be patient and understand that in the quest for independence, at 11 in particular, when it seems like it's almost there, they go to extremes. 11 is one of the most tearful times in life. It's a very emotional time in life. Easy to anger, easy to flare up. 11s will tell you just the beauty of 10 and being reasonable. 11s will say, you're always picking on me. You don't understand. What's wrong with you? As they move into 11, everything about you, and especially mom, is wrong. You don't dress right. Your politics are wrong. You don't understand anything. They just really that journey. Now, for some, there's still that sweet quality, and they may not go to the extreme of this. But, ironically, 11s enjoy being with 11s. The other thing that's confusing about 11s, as much as they complain, they want to be in the thick of the family. They want to be in the thick of the family. And so, they're irritable, but they'll say, I like who I am. They are so self-absorbed and egocentric, they don't understand the impact of what they say and do really fully on people, especially moms with them. Wanting to be independent is such a quest, and experiencing that. They, physically at 11, what happens also is because so much is going on. 11, don't be surprised, cold. ear infections. They wear down at 11, and they're much more vulnerable to sickness at 11. They're restless and very energetic, and that continues from 10 to 11. This is a common age, 10 and to 11, for the girls to start really forming pretty strong cliques. And in their relationships, to really be mean to other girls. Typically, 11s like to hang out with people their personality they perceive like them. So while there's a lot of mutual interest in activities, they're kind of picky about that. For boys at this age, it's really there may be a good best friend, one or two, but it's really traveling with the pack and the activities that are there. Girls in 5th grade at 10 to 11 talk about the boys. The boys are so not ready for this, are so awkward about this, and will blatantly lie if a girl says, "Do you like me?" And that's why we have our boys and girls lunch program to really kind of address these issues. With the girls, you know, in their issues, we really talk about including and excluding all of those kinds of things. They need lots of sleep at these ages because of the energy that they just put out. And bedtime is really, can go up a little bit later. So typically 9:30-ish. Some will push that envelope for 10 to 10 o'clock for bedtime. They really need about 10 hours or more sleep. And it varies with your child. And really getting that to fit in is really important for them. So I want to stress, though, that as you journey here, really being able to network with parents, to know your resources, to understand that this is a time in life where just when you've had like a respite and enjoying this quest for independence, it's like I'm almost a teenager. And in their minds, that at 11, that means, you know, I'm almost a full-fledged adult. So they will push those limits. So understanding parenting, setting appropriate and fair limits. And what I love about the love and logic is using that empathy approach. We're going to talk a lot more about that this morning. Is a good strategy with them. So please also recognize that in their wanting to fit in and belong, they're going to make mistakes. And we really need to respect that, and it's all about learning. And in our middle school, we really help them appropriately at these ages to deal with that. So as you journey with parents, I think you need to recognize that what I've said about 11, while it's typical of what's happening at home, what I say about 11 is, in a stranger's house, somebody else's house, or here at school, you hear about a child, you wonder who it is, because they can be very different. And so they are hearing your voices. And speaking of voices, I don't know that an 11-year-old can do anything quietly. They're very loud about life, and they just, again, want to embrace it. Because they're so self-absorbed, the hurts and the easy to anger is there, and in this whole tearful nature. But they want to be grown up. And so in our setting, when they're in middle school, we give them those opportunities. They talk about the freedoms they have. But your role as parents is to set clear, fair boundaries, because fair for 9 and 10 and 11 is big. And they will interpret what they think is fair. So really being consistent and being fair and appropriate, but also recognizing they're not 6, 7, or 8. And I think sometimes there is a challenge that we have as parents to not be able to step back for that. Also, public expression of affection at 10 and 11 is an embarrassment to them. However, they will in quiet moments cuddle with you. That doesn't mean they don't love you or need you, but they clearly are embarrassed by you. However, please be there for their athletic activities, their performances, whichever those are, the back to school nights. They are all checking whose parents are there and invested and involved in their lives. So it's quite an interesting journey if you can appreciate this quest for adulthood, which is way early for them, but being patient and using the strategies of empathy and understanding, but setting those clear and fair boundaries. And then also know your resources, the school counselors, the school nurse, their advisors, their teachers. Thank you.